Hi friends. I had to get out and go shopping. Um it's Sunday before Christmas, and I was listening to, it's called Zauntee, Jesus Called My Name, and in that song he said that I'm going to get it all wrong. Um Healed from my pain. Nothing's the same when Jesus called my name, something like that. And this whole last year, I was looking at my grief from my situation and my direction with my mom's death, on how I will miss her. And as I was driving home, I started looking at it through her direction of what she was going through. And late 60s, about 60, 68 or 67, she had a fall. And her leg slipped from under her, and she thought she pulled a muscle. Mind you, she died at 72. She turned 72 in 24. And she died she died in January of 28 of 25. January 8, or yeah, January 8 of 25 is when she died. And so late 60s she fell, and she was in a lot of pain. And a lot of pain. And at that time she was still watching my kids full time. She was their teacher. I was working in a school, and we were on spring break, so she had 2 weeks with no kids to try to get better. If she pulled a muscle, 2 weeks isn't going to do it. But she pushed through. A couple of years later, about 70, 69 or 70, she talked to her doctor, got an MRI, found out that she needs a hip replacement. She didn't break her hip when she fell. She was born with bad, like, shallow sockets, and they just wore out. And at 71, she got her hip replacement. No, she got her hip replacement before then, because that was when we were in California. So I think she got it about 69. The first hip was, she had a really bad infection. They replaced it with a plastic hip. She was on a really heavy, strong antibiotic. She was in the hospital for a little bit of time. She was in a lot of pain. And she just pushed through. She just, she was raised by old farmers. My grandpa said, "I'm going to die with my boots on." He did. So she was in a lot of pain. She got her hip replaced a second time after the first surgery. And she's not in pain anymore. She doesn't have to have her leg hurt or walk with a limp, or just started thinking about how happy she is, how free. And I just started crying again. It's just, we're only a couple weeks away from our first year anniversary. And I don't know what the second year looks like. I have no idea. There's a part of me that thinks, okay, the first year is going to be over. It's like some door frame you walk through and things are easier. They're not the same. They're just, it's a little lighter. I have no idea. I don't know. I've been getting, well, I got a new person in November. I'm gonna keep her on my caseload, but I've been getting people recently that have had their spouses die, and they're young. They're just young. And with the Christmas season, I saw this one person on Friday, 2 days ago, and her husband passed away in March. But it was about this time that he got the diagnosis of, cancer that killed him. So she was really feeling it. And it's been a hot minute since I felt that emotional. I could relate that much to what she's feeling, and then had to compose myself so that I could maintain for her. It's hard. Had another person ask me, same day actually, she goes, how do you not take, what's said to you, not personal, but like how does it not bother you? And I used to be a methadone. My first job out of my master's degree was methadone as a case manager. Methadone's, I didn't even know what methadone was at my interview. And methadone is a prescription that people are given on a daily basis to get off of heroin. It's an opiate replacement medication for drug addiction, and it's just opiate based. It's works for pills and oxy, Vicodins, opiates, right? And I don't know, my mom used to, for one thing, she didn't understand how I could do the job I do pretty much at any specific point in my life without falling down into tears. But especially that job, because I tell her some of the stuff that I would hear. It's just, real generic, or like, people would do crazy stuff or when they're addicted to drugs, like prostitution and stealing and stuff. And she just never understood how I wasn't crying all the time. And the person asked that question, how do you not let it affect you? And I said, I don't know, I've always been that way. I don't compartmentalize it. That job I had to, that job I actually naturally developed a compartment for it. And when I was out of the job, for one thing, I had a lanyard with my my badge and my door key on it. And when I was at work, I had to wear it. And when I was off of work, like lunch or break or leaving, I had to immediately take it off. Once I hit that door frame for any kind of change in routine, whether it be inside the building with break room or leaving the building, even for getting lunch, just driving and getting lunch, I had to take it off. It was immediately too heavy. Immediately. And I just took it off. And I don't know, when I was out of work, I was in a different mode. And I had people that I was talking to for 5 years. I worked there for 7. That they would see me in a grocery store and I wouldn't know who they were. I'd recognize their face, but then I wouldn't even know their name. But with my lanyard on, I could remember something a comment that they made like years before. And it just like woke up. It was just a really weird experience for me. I don't know if you've watched the show Severance, but it kind of was like that a little bit. And I just did it naturally. And it just didn't affect me. It just didn't really affect me. So I told her that answer. She was like, wow. But I mean, realistically, like, doing therapy it is difficult. You know, you're there to help. And sometimes you just show up and life's, the world's falling apart. This is the week of Christmas. First Christmas. Yeah. So we haven't passed Christmas yet. This is Sunday. I don't know, the 24, 23, I think 21st? I think. And I work all this week except for Christmas Day. So, but, I don't know, I wanted to document that looking at it from her perspective, where she really isn't in pain anymore. She really isn't. She feels wonderful. She was in pain for like the last 5 years of her life, like constant. Once we moved out to Texas, she was always told by her doctor that the plastic is temporary. She has to go back and get another one and replace it. And she just didn't want to do it. There was a part of me that was a little annoyed at her that she didn't want to go back and go get it cleaned up. And final, the hip replacement's metal, which I think they cause problems in the body. I know they're surgical steel, but I don't know. Our bodies aren't made of metal, and so she just had a better reaction with the plastic one. And she went to a new primary out here. And the primary did some, visuals and x-rays and stuff. And he said that the hip replacement that she got a second time is sufficient. And so he put her into some physical therapy. She strengthened her muscles. She was able to walk. She was still in pain. Her hip would get tired. She would use her crutch. But yeah, she was still in pain. And towards the end of her life, she really wasn't herself anymore. Meaning that she loved to get out and just go explore and tootle. She called it tootling. I know other people do too. But it's, she came out here, she moved out here, and she's seen very little of DFW area. When we moved out here, I knew our area of California, front, back, and center, and reverse, and backwards. I needed to know everywhere I was. I needed to be able to, because there's so many freeways out here. Just look at a map of the DFW area and look at the freeways. Yeah. We came from an area with like 3 freeways. And we came out here to tollways, interstates, state highways, farm roads. It's crazy. And yeah, so when I came out here, I was driving for hours. I think the first month that we lived here, while we were in the Airbnb, I probably drove at least, God, in the first 30 days, I was driving anytime I could to know where I was. I probably drove, I would say 30 hours in 30 days, minimum. If I could do 2-3 hours a day, that's what I did. If I didn't have anything going on, I was out of the house and I was driving around because I want to know exactly where I'm at. And at nighttime, there isn't any directionals here. I don't, north, south, east, west, they all just kind of blend in, and I've gotten lost before at night. Freeways, I know where I am at the freeways. Streets, I might have to use Waze because I have an idea of where I think I'm at. I could be going the completely other direction. And I've done that. It's happened before. So, you know, streets are different. I wanted to make sure that I had a really good understanding of where I was at with the freeways. I do. But she didn't do that. In fact, to get her to go anywhere was a pretty big, feat at the end of her life. But she's just so much happier since Jesus called her name. It's just, I've been looking at it through my lens for the last 12 months. And right now I just realized that she's okay. This last year I felt like I couldn't necessarily, I knew that, looking at it from her perspective with like she's out of pain and stuff is helpful. I just, mentally I couldn't get there until right now. So I was just so stuck. Yes, I chew my fingers now more. I shouldn't, but I do. I think this Christmas will be okay. I have no idea. Brothers are coming out, bringing their families. It's gonna be a busy Christmas, and I just wanted to make a video before I get there, because I don't know if I'll have time this week before Christmas happens. So yeah. Big breath. Tomorrow's Monday. Start work at 9. Kids are out of school. I get to sleep in, stay up late just a little longer. That's nice. Thanks for sitting with me. I appreciate it. Takes away the loneliness. Being a therapist is kind of isolating. People kind of have an idea of what you do and what you're doing and who you are and stuff, but they don't, I don't know, I think underneath they actually just kind of think we have it all together. Because when they see us, we, as a therapist, I need to maintain what I'm doing so that I can be present for them. You know? If I want to make it a Lindsay show, I'll get a therapist myself. Welcome. So, but yeah, their time isn't about me, so it looks like I have everything together. When underneath, I'm just struggling as they are. Man, I had so many couples in COVID. So many couples that were like about to split up. And my husband and I were both working at home at the same time too, and they're like, how do we figure this out? The only thing I could come in with my head, and what I said in my head in response to that, which I didn't say out loud, is I have no fucking idea. When I figure this crap out for me, I'll tell you. I didn't say it. But that was rough. That was really rough. That was rough on a lot of people. It was rough on me too. That was hard. Really hard. I got therapy at that time of my life too. So, yeah. You have a great Sunday. I am going to go to work here in about an hour and 27 minutes. An hour and 17 minutes. And, I'll probably make, a video. I don't know if I'll make one before or after Christmas. I don't know if I would have anything new to say before Christmas. But after, I can give an update as far as what happened and how I felt and how it went. And I know these days kind of scare me, because I don't know what it's gonna be like. Will it be okay? Yes. Will it be awesome? It's debatable. So, yeah, I will, I'll talk to you probably after Christmas. So you guys have a great Christmas. Thank you for sitting with me. Take care. Bye.